Crimson Desert and performance and shit like that. And I'm honestly just getting real sick and fucking tired of people and their fucking performance. And what I mean by that is I don't mean like, people saying I want better performance out of my games. No, of course we should, and we should be fucking being vocal about that. But I'm so tired of these fucking bougie ass motherfuckers who took out a fucking payday loan to buy their fucking PS5, talking about if it ain't 60, I ain't playing. Like, shut your bitch ass up.
I ain't either.
Shut your bitch ass up.
Mm-mm.
Motherfuckers want to act all fucking bougie, but as soon as they drop the next fucking beat 'em up, you'll be the first one there.
That shit's 60.
Yo, what up, Talgeezy? How you doing? Oh, don't even get me going on Metal Gear, Talgeezy. Don't even get me going
Go,
on
right,
that shit.
Talgeezy? Ooh-wee.
Fucking joke of a game, too. But either way, thank you guys for showing up. We got
Talgeezy
that
knows what's
and
up.
way more for you guys. And the whole PC, or not PC, but performance thing, it's also for the motherfucker who say, well, if a game ain't third person, I ain't playing neither. Like, shut your bitch ass up.
Nah, I'll play top down too.
Fucking whole bunch of fucking lamos. All we got is a whole bunch of fucking casual ass motherfuckers who play video games nowadays. Oh, it's got red, I don't like it. Oh, it's got a fucking shoelace, I don't like it. Oh, it's got a woman, I don't like it. Her ass ain't fat enough, I don't like it. Leon is not too muscular, I ain't playing it. It's fucking annoying. Got more opinions than fucking gamers. So yeah, that's kind of the vibe we're going with tonight, Morgan. I'm sorry.
No, speak your piece.
Yeah, it should be pretty good. I think we got some pretty interesting stuff that I checked out. I try to find stuff that as gamers we talk about all the time, but we don't ever really talk about on a show like this because we're constantly talking about the news and what's coming, which is cool, right? Because it's exciting for the new games. And, even the hardware is like, oh shit, it could do 60, it could do 120, whatever. That'd be dope, right? Resident Evil Requiem came out, and I mean, fuck, that thing runs like a dream, and it's exciting shit, and that's fire. But I think we sometimes get a little too caught up with that stuff. We're talking about games that ain't even gonna come out for a year from now, and we're talking about performance and shit. Like, bro, technology changes every fucking day. Like, who knows what's gonna be? And Nelson brought up a good point before, where he said, well, how many games was it, Nelson? 3 games that don't run at 60 or above this console
I can only think
generation.
of one AAA, and that's Arkham Knights.
So, and even that
Oh,
one,
and Dragon's Dogma didn't. I
well,
didn't buy that either for that reason.
Dragon's Dogma does, but in the beginning it wasn't
Does
running
now.
that hot. But little things like that. There's only a couple, so I just don't understand what the big deal is with fucking performance. If out of the 20 fucking million thousand games that come out a year, a handful, if that, don't come out with the performance that most people would like. But see, RPG knows because he beat the game. Still not locked. And I think we're going to see a lot of that with Crimson Desert. I think we're going to see it not locked, and it's going to fluctuate between fucking 20 and fucking 60. RPG.
On that game.
Yeah. RPG, who's the developer that, or maybe you can tell. Was it the RE Engine as well?
Capcom.
RE Engine, do you know?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
They make all the shit on RE Engine now, yeah.
The RE Engine is a gorgeous engine for Resident Evil. You know what I mean? Like, games like that, it's perfect. When you try to implement, that was my biggest complaint with yep, RPG confirmed it with what was that other fucking game? Monster Hunter. Yeah, I stopped playing that game for that reason. Plus, I didn't like their layout. This hub world shit, and your partner, when you play with people, you guys don't see the same story beats, and You know, if I play with somebody, I want to feel like we're going through this game together, you know, not just you do your thing, and then we'll link up for the fight. Like, the anticipation to the fight is kind of important for me. But either way, little things like that, you know, I want to get your guys' opinion. You may be varied opinion, you may be the same, but it should be a good time tonight. But shout out to you guys showing up to Algizi RPG 88. And no, we got a few more people in the background that are listening but not chatting. That is okay. I appreciate it anyways, but you're more than welcome to hop on in and let us know what you're of this channel. I really wanted you guys to oh fuck, I forgot to turn that shit off. Um the whole point is to get you guys involved. And while we're here waiting a little bit longer for more people to come on in, I want to give a couple shout outs real quick. Gotta say hi to some of the most important people of the channel. And that is RPG 88, who's been a member for 6 months, the very first member ever on the channel. Thank you. And then in a close second, 6 months, Mr. Henry Heck, who RPG beat him by a hair. Then we have Mr. Steven Leone. After that, we got Sky Arthur. And I remember when Sky Arthur became a member, I was doing a fucking crash out stream and he like, I fuck with you. And he jumped in and he's from Brazil. So shout out to you, Sky Arthur. Then we got Mr. Nelson Gaming Culture, 5 months. Then we have Lord Metroid, 2 months. Space Ghost 2009, 29 days. Then we have Brett Siley, 18 days, but Brett be coming on and on. So I will put him in the 6 month category if I could. And then David Cox, 17 days. Shout out to you, David. Mr. Tal Geezy, 17 days. Shout out to you, bro. You're a beast. And then we have Just Mako, 2767, 17 days as well. So thank you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are the backbone of the channel, and you guys allow me to do the giveaways that I do on a monthly basis. So thank you. I also want to just take a quick moment and thank the subscribers in general. We have 3,300 and something. Give me a second here. I just lost the damn number here. Sheesh. 3,360. Is this right? 3,363. 3,363 people are subscribed to the channel. Guys, I don't think you understand how crazy that is. 3,000 people. You know how many? Not just 3,000, 363 to be specific. And the reason I'm trying to be so damn specific is because each one of these people is one individual person. Right on top of my mind, we got Nelson who subscribed to me, his 2 kids. That's 3 people right there. That's a whole freaking family. That's a family, guys. Like, that's a big fucking deal. His kids are big fans. I talk to them all. Well, not too much because they be shooting me 100 messages at once. But I do reply to every
I'm
10th.
glad they're annoying you instead of me.
But that is a big deal. A whole household is subscribed to my channel. That just blows my mind. But when you think about 3,363 people that decided to push that subscribe button, how many high school gyms does that fill up? How many clubs does that fill up? I mean, that's just insane. So I am extremely appreciative. And because of you guys is why I motivate myself to come out with more content. And I hope you guys enjoy it. But while we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and get this party started, man. Because we got a good night for you guys tonight, man. It's going to be a little bit different. We're definitely going to talk about current event topics this evening, but we're also going to talk about some real gamer shit. And we have a panel here tonight, which is myself, Mr. Nelson Gaming Culture, and our special guest, which I'm going to introduce her in just a second. But to me, these are the perfect people to ask these questions to because we come from all walks of life. We've all been gaming for a long time, and we all like different types of games. So I'm super excited to hear their answers. And you out there in the chat, feel free to get involved and answer your damn self on the chat. But without further ado, welcome to the State of Gaming podcast. I'm your co-host, Will Triple Seven JP. My co-host, Nelson Gaming Culture, is right here next to me. And back again, we have Miss Morgan. Miss Morgan, how are you doing? Let the people know how you became a millionaire and now you're here to take us from poverty and all that. Let them know.
Oh, I absolutely wish that was the case, man. I would be flexing like let me calm down. But yeah, I'm good. Chilling. Certain negative circumstances are happening right now, but it's okay.
I
I
feel
am
that.
I am trying to be positive, so it's all good.
Or
But I'm
just let
happy to
us
be here
know
as
in the moment.
always.
Be like, hey, I gotta do this, and you know what I mean. Don't be
Yeah,
shy.
I got you.
What you been playing? Because I see you kind of been playing
Oh
a little
yeah,
bit of everything.
I have. So to start, I did play Planet of Lana 2. I beat and platinumed it. Great game. I loved the first game, platinum that, and it was highly anticipated Planet of Lana 2. And
I,
it definitely met and exceeded my expectations.
I keep hearing that.
But yeah, the puzzles were even better this time. The exploration was a lot better. We got to go like actually like underwater in this game, and there was like underwater puzzles, and it was all really well done. Um, like it was to the point where I am not the biggest fan of games that are like platformy puzzle games, but I really like the balance that Planet of Lana that it strikes. Like they're not
Nelson
too
with his
hard,
ultra
but they're
vibrator
not
dual sense.
easy to the
It's
point
like
where
he
I'm just like,
hold it to
okay,
his mic.
it's obviously go left here, go right there, right? I
Yeah.
actually have to like think about it. And I had to pause a couple times with some of the puzzles, like, now where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? But I never felt the need to like look it up, right? Like I usually always with these puzzles I can figure them out on my own, but it does take a little thinking, which I enjoy. But it definitely answered a lot of questions that I had in the first game about
Oh,
kind
I
of
like
like,
that. So it
yeah,
answers a lot of those questions. Because some games they don't do that. A lot of games will just leave you
yeah,
hanging.
exactly. Because kind of the background of the game is that you're a girl in a village in a planet that's similar to Earth, but it's not Earth, and you kind of figure out that humans left Earth due to some kind of like ecological event that happened, and they escaped on like this ship, and they kind of try not to spoil certain
Chill a
things,
tad
but
low on my
she
side, but
finds
could be
out, like,
Nelson's
by
vibrator
exploring,
drowning
almost
her
kind of like
out.
how Aloy found out what happened to humans,
Mm-hmm.
through Horizon Zero Dawn. She kind of like through exploring, and in the beginning, her sister's kidnapped by these like robot machines, and through traversing the planet, she kind of discovers the original ship that crashed on the planet, where all the humans came from. And she kind of finds out, like the humans past. And through the second game, she's like finding out more about
Don't spoil the
how
second one.
exactly. Yeah, I'm not gonna say. I'm just gonna say she finds out more about it, how they got there and stuff like that,
Dope.
right? But the second game literally left on a cliffhanger, so I'm like, okay, so there's gonna
Oh,
be a Planet of Lana 3. Um, yeah, because I was just like, what?
and I'm pretty sure Planet
It,
Lana 2 got not only was it like well acclaimed, but it also I think it
mhm.
did pretty decent numbers too. So I think there may be
Yeah,
a third
yeah,
one.
yeah. I'm excited because it definitely left off where I was like, what happened? And it just like, just like boom, black screen. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
fuck. So we gotta wait for the third. But I really enjoyed the game. Highly recommended. If you haven't played the first one, play that first. It's really quick. The games are only like, 4 to 5 hours long, so it won't take you long. Beat the first one, then play the second one. The second one's even better. Yeah, highly recommend the game. Great game.
Yeah,
So I finished that.
that's a dope
And I
one.
also, yeah, it's very dope. And I also tried out a little bit, a couple hours. I haven't put much into it, but the Legends, Ghost of Yote Legends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, great addition as always. I loved the Tsushima Legends. So now I'm playing Yote. They seem to have put a lot of quality of life improvements into Legends. Like kind of how the lobby now has like things to do. It has the coin game that's in
Yep,
Yote. You can
right in
I
the
was
base.
yeah, exactly. I was playing with a
Those
Nate.
mini games.
Yeah, he won a couple rounds, but it's because he cheated, and I'm gonna stick by that.
Oh, you probably did
But
cheat.
yeah, he absolutely cheated, but it's okay. I got my lick back at the end, and then it's got the bamboo strike challenges where you can see who gets the higher
Bro,
scores
is it
for
just
the
me? But on
bamboo
the
strike.
bamboo challenge, anything after 5 buttons, I have to take a
Bruh,
picture with my phone because I can't remember the last two.
I know. And then there's the
It takes
extra
me several
hard
times to
bamboo
remember it.
too, like the demon one or whatever it is, and where it starts involving the directional
Uh
buttons and
huh.
the yeah. I'm just like, oh, it's doing too much. I'm like, I can't memorize all that. Okay. But yeah, like the story's great. The character, I think the skill tree and like the different classes and everything is really cool. I'm the shinobi. I really enjoy that. I like the method to unlock different abilities and outfits and stuff, and how everything's included in the game. You don't have to buy anything. Everything's free. You earn it through the game. It's just really cool. Like I'm really enjoying it so far. The story so far. We're doing the spider missions.
The Light
Mm-hmm.
and Bamboo Challenge is a
Going our
no-go
way
for
through that,
me.
and I'm having fun with it. So yeah, I'm planning on keep playing that. I love that they continue the legends with Yote. I think it's great that it's like a free add-on that we get, and it's not like some live service bullshit. It's just
Mm-hmm.
good added multiplayer,
Well,
which
we're
is
going to talk about
literally
that in a
all I
little
want.
bit. So keep
Yeah.
that thought because we're going to talk about live service in a bit because I want to bring up Marathon as well. But
Hmm.
yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off. Oh,
No, you're
RPG,
good.
real quick. Morgan might be a tad bit low because she's on her cell phone.
Oh, I
She's dealing with
apologize.
some stuff. No, you're good.
Thank you for the
They can hear you just a little bit lower than us. And he says Nelson's respiration or a refibrillator. That's funny. What else have you been playing, bro? Let us know because you always be playing some good shit.
Yeah,
I see,
and
I see.
also the last thing I'm playing right now. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's 1348 Exvato.
Yeah, I saw that.
I
So I
yeah,
have somebody else that played it too, and I let me hear your
yeah.
what you think about it first.
Okay. It's being referred to as like the lesbian night game,
Yeah,
which I'm fine with calling that's what I refer to it as, like the lesbian night game.
I go
Um
lie. I told my buddy I was like, so what's the special attack? A scissor kick?
I was honestly disappointed that there was no scissoring happening. Like I was looking forward to that, and it's sad to say. I was like, come on, man. Where's like you gonna put some lesbians here? Where's the lesbian action at?
Hey, they got
Like,
the
come
main
on,
actress
man.
from Expedition 33. What's her name?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
she's
Jennifer
in there.
English.
Jennifer
Yeah, Jennifer
English.
English. Yeah. I will say, speaking of Jennifer English, that the highlight of this game is the voice acting. The
Yeah, I
voice
figured.
acting is very well done. Not with just Jennifer English, because Jennifer English, she's the love interest. So she's
Yeah,
she's
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 like the
not.
princess.
Yeah, yeah. So we're trying to find her in the game, so she's not as present. Like
Hmm.
we hear her in the beginning, and I haven't finished it, but I'm assuming we're gonna hear her at the end. But the main chick with the that's playing the character with the bowl cut,
Yeah, yeah.
her
The
voice acting
real
is
oh
fucking
no, they're both
phenomenal.
lesbian. They're both gays in real life. But
Yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah,
but the one
yeah,
with the short hair, she's good
yeah.
too.
Yes, her voice acting in this game has been phenomenal. Like, like I'm just like, damn. I hope I hear from her again. I hope she's in other games,
Hmm.
because just how she captures the scene every time. Like, there's a cut scene and she's doing some dialogue. I think she's great, right? And the voice acting is the honestly the really only pinnacle of this game.
Yeah, I heard.
I'm enjoying the story. I like the story thus far. I gotta see how it ends to see if there's a good payoff at the end or
Is the
whatever.
story good
But
enough to play the like? Because look, my buddy told me the combat
ooh,
like sucks ass,
oh my
right?
god, oh my god, oh my god,
But he
Will,
said the same thing.
Will,
Like the voice acting is really good.
Sam.
yeah, oh my god, the most frustrating thing about this game is the combat. Like, I
Hmm.
feel like they were trying to do some KCD2 kind of thing with the combat, but they just couldn't get it right. Like, um, it's just clunky. Sometimes when I'm blocking and parrying, it doesn't feel like the game like understood that I pressed the block button,
Oh, I hate
because there's
that.
just like there's sometimes like there's like a delay, or it
Mm-hmm.
just didn't
Didn't
realize I pressed it
register.
at all. Yeah, exactly. And this game is brutal. Like, you try to take on one enemy is fine, but when you're doing like two, or God forbid like three or more, it gets just so bad, because for some reason the camera tends to kind of like auto lock to enemies. And sometimes I'm fighting one enemy, and there's an enemy coming up behind me, and it'll be so jarring. She'll just like, the camera will pan to the other enemy real quick, and I'm like, oh my
Mm.
god, I was in the middle of fighting this enemy A, and she just switched to enemy B all of a sudden. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he's stabbing me, hitting me, and then all of a sudden enemy A's hitting me again. So the camera pans really fast, and it's very jarring.
Mm.
And then the frame rate for this game is not really good. It's not a lot. It seems like it's trying to hit 60, but it's just not locked. It
Yeah.
seems like it's like hitting in the 40s and just kind of bouncing up and down. So
Shame.
that's jarring.
Yeah, shame.
There's
They
a
should
lot
have
of
delayed that
screen
game
tearing.
because that game,
Yeah, it needed work.
it got it. It already. And look, this is a game that I talked about last month, right? Especially
Hmm.
when the other game caught a lot of fire too. Path
Oh yeah,
Nights, I think it's
yes,
called.
yes,
And so,
yes,
they were comparing the
yes.
two because, you got the
Yep,
Chads out there with the Path Night and then, everybody
yep,
hating on the other
yep,
one. But I love that
yep.
like that time period right there. Like, that's my shit. Like, I'm
Yeah,
going to tell you guys a little something. I
I
got,
loved Kitty Come Deliverance 2, man,
yeah,
and 1.
yes. So, I'm interested in both, but then I'm like, you know what? Let me wait. It's a 20 some dollar game any damn way. So,
Hmm.
whatever. But then my buddy
Right.
told me the combat really sucks. The story's probably going to be the best part of this, which I don't mind. Look,
Yeah.
South of
Yep.
Midnight, to this day, I say I love that game. It was one of my favorite games last year, but the combat did get repetitive after a while. But I was
Yep.
okay with that because the art was fire, the music was fire. Like, I'm gonna buy that
Me and you on the
motherfucker when it
same
comes
shit,
out to
Will, because I'm buying it. Yep, me
yeah, I'm
too.
buying
Me
it.
too.
I hope they do a limited run on it because if they do, I'll buy it there too. But
Yep. Yep.
so that was my kind of issue with it. But either way, I'm gonna wait because we got a lot of games dropping this month. So I don't
Hmm.
got to get to it, but let's see if they patch it up a little bit, get that performance going, get that
Yeah.
screen tearing fix. Those are gonna be big issues. And anything else you've been playing, Morgan, in the last week or
No,
two?
that's it.
That's
That's
it.
it.
All right, Nelson, up to you. You see how Morgan gave us an explanation and told us and what she like, all that. Don't say the same. What you been playing the last week or two?
Resident Evil. I finished it. I love it. It's so fucking good. It's
Resident
my favorite game of this
Evil.
gen.
He loves
Yeah.
it. It was good.
It was my
Okay.
favorite game of this gen.
Okay. Well, that's
It's so
good.
damn good. I love the action. I love the fucking everything. The only thing I did, the only negative about the game was listening to that chick go, "Ooh, where are we going? Ooh, what was that? Ooh, like, oh goddamn, lady,
Well, yeah,
spit it out."
she's experiencing something like this first time in her life. This is insane. This is how a normal person
The
will
entire
react.
movie, the entire show. No,
Everything was new. She had a fucking ghost lady chasing her at the beginning. I don't want to spoil it, but there's a lot more that goes into that. But yeah, I thought that was a genuine reaction from some. I mean, I don't stutter. I just stutter sometimes, but not like that. And I think me and you've been a little bit more
constantly.
tested because we've been in the military, so we've seen some fucked up shit. But the average person just does it, right? Like, I forget what the stats are in the United States of the percentage of people that has some sort of PTSD, and people forget. You can get PTSD from a car crash. You can get PTSD from getting robbed. You can get PTSD because you hit your toe too many times. Now you're scared to walk through fucking corners because you're like, oh shit, that last time I did get stitches. You know what I mean? So you can get PTSD from a lot of different things, and I think that's a pretty normal way of her reacting. But yeah, I mean, it does get a little annoying, and my annoyance with Grace came more if Leon was here, he would fuck this whole place. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
know,
come
right?
on,
I'm
girl.
hiding and shit like that. If Leon was here, you'd all pay,
But
motherfucker.
I give Grace a lot of credit because guess what? Not once did she pussy out. Not once did she always protected others
There
that
ain't
were
no
weaker
place
than
she could
her.
go.
She well, I mean, yeah, but they could have made her even more of a bitch. No, she was FBI. She did her thing. She protected that little girl as best she could. She did what she had to do. So that was dope. Anything outside of Resident Evil that you played?
Just marathon with you.
Yeah, and that was for like an hour. Yeah, me, I have played nothing but Marathon, man. I got 40 hours into that fucking game. And like I said last week, I don't play live service game, guys. I play them on Tuesdays with the boys because it's a community game night type of deal. And live service games are what's out there, you know. But especially for 3 to 4 players. What up, Queen Miku? How you doing? Um, but this one, man, it's got me hooked, and I really, really like it. And I told you guys why last week, but let's talk a little bit about live service games because there was two big ones this week. Obviously, we have Marathon that's been continuing, but then we also have the Legends that came out for Ghost of Yote.
And
Now,
Toxic Commando.
Toxic Command don't fucking count. Um,
That does.
have you played it,
Not yet.
Morgan? Have you,
I haven't got to play Legends yet. That's why I haven't got it yet.
Morgan? Have you played Toxic Commando?
Oh, absolutely not.
No, okay. I mean, look, I kind of want to, but $40, like I'm already. But look, let me before we start the conversation with all three games, let me just give you guys not a spoiler, but some insider information about what I think about Legends real quick because I was hyped for Legends before it came out. And I'm even gonna sit here and say it's not anything the game did. It's just me. All right, I am biased. I have just a low
We know.
tolerance, so I just whatever. But there are a couple things I didn't like about the game, but they're very minor things. It's nitpicking when you look at it. But the thing that pissed me off about the thing that soured the mood for me on Legends right away was when we was three of us, me, Henry, and RPG, tried to do the campaign, and you can only do 2 players. So that killed it
Was
for
that
me.
in the first one?
Yeah, I understand that. I understand they did it like that in the first one.
Okay.
But they could have added a 4 player campaign or a 3 player campaign or just more. But whatever. Like I said, nitpicking. So that was my biggest thing. That turned me off. So we already got 3 players. What are we gonna do? Kick somebody out? So we decided to do the only mode you can do, which I think is called Survivor mode. Basically, they throw waves at you, and it was fun. But the problem was that you have to be level 15, and since we just started the game, we were all like level 0, level 1s. So we were getting our ass whooped, right? So that was unfortunate. That continued to sour my mood a little bit, even though we leveled up pretty quickly. I think we got to level 5 or 6 by the hour mark or something like that. So we were able to handle those waves a little bit better. But it's like, okay, so if you go in there with 2 people, then you are 3 people, you automatically are level 0. Then you have to, if you want to actually compete, then you have to level up some way, shape, or form, right? So those are the 2 things that really frustrated me. And then the third one is so superficial, but I want to bring it up because I'm 100% with you guys. I thought that every character walked the same and they all walked like sissies. And I just did not like that. I just didn't like that these samurai, shinobi, assassins, they walk like fucking sissies. And that pissed me the fuck off. But it's Ghost of Yote, man. The combat felt tight. I mean, they added so much. And what I really want to talk about is what Morgan said. It's a free to play thing if you already have Yote. There's so many games. I mean, fuck, so many games. And just last week, we saw Fortnite. They're going up in pricing for their fucking what do they call V-Bucks, right? And here you have Sucker Punch, who came up with this mode, and it is included with the purchase of Ghost of Yote. And I want to get into that conversation real quick because as the console generation has been going on, there's been so many discussions of pricing going up, not just in video games, but we've seen it happen with consoles, right? They've been going up steadily over the last 5 years, 6 years now. Not just PlayStation, but Xbox, hell, the Switch at 450, right? PC, fuck, don't even talk about PC with the RAM and GPU and all sorts of shit. So when we get something like a Yote Legends,
Do you know Fortnite's broke? They only made 6.2 billion last year. They needed to raise them prices. They
hey,
couldn't
what
make
up, hero? How you doing? So when
They
we get
couldn't make
something like Yote, it really makes you feel appreciated. Or am I wrong? Morgan, what do you think about that? Do you feel appreciated when you, as a gamer, as a customer, do you feel appreciated when we get a game mode like Legends and it's free and the amount of content that they put out there for you? Or like, what was your experience with that?
Absolutely, because they honestly put you can tell from the quality of it that they put a lot of work into Legends. Like they made a lot of, like I said earlier when I was playing it, they made a lot of quality of life improvements. They added the, activities to do in the lobby, and the just the amount of content and the upgrades that you can get in game is honestly insane. Like it looks just so good, and it just kind of makes me, honestly, it makes me sad too, because I'm like, this is honestly what we could have got from like the Last of Us
Yeah.
multiplayer if they had just stuck to doing it the way they did with the first game and not
Hmm.
gone onto that live service track. I'm like, how great could it have been
Well,
if it was
Morgan,
just an add-on?
something I've been
Hmm.
saying since Concord, right? And Nelson disagrees with me. A lot of people do, but I happen to be right a few times about these things. But something that I said with Concord, and you can agree or disagree with me right now, let me know. I'd be interested to hear what you say. But s- for these, and not just Concord, but for live service games, right? And I'll include Marathon in this conversation as well. But for these live service games, they have to come out, they have to do two things, in my opinion. One, they have to either do something completely different than everybody else to attract gamers, right? To steal gamers from other live service games. Because, in my opinion, there's, of course, many different types of gamers, but I think the main two are your live service gamers, your single player gamers. And I think that you need to get people from one or the other or both. And the best way of doing that is doing something new that nobody's ever seen. So people are like, oh shit, I want to go check that out. The other thing that you can do to attract, to me, an untapped gamer pool is the single player gamer. And the best way to do that is doing a small campaign, 3 to 4 hours, introduce characters, introduce the world, introduce the lore. And once people get situated with the characters, then they're more apt to play the live service part of the game. But that's just my opinion. And I said this with Concord. I'm like, if they would have just, instead of doing those movies that they were planning on doing, if they just, COD does it with theirs and they're one of the most successful, right? But if they just would have done a small campaign, I think it would have fared better. What do you think about that, Morgan? Do you think that I'm going somewhere here? Do you think I'm a fucking dumbass and this will never work?
No, no, I absolutely agree. Like, I think, I think, some of the best multiplayers
Co-op
that we've ever
multiplayer and
gotten, like,
PvE
you could
games are
look
the
at something
blue
like
ocean of live service on PlayStation.
or Gears, right? Like,
Yeah.
what made people fall in love was that, obviously the
Oh, I'm
campaign
sorry to cut you off. The reason
of Master Chief. No, go ahead.
the reason I said all that was because you brought up Last of Us, and I think that's a perfect example. It's like Last of Us could have continued with what they were doing and then
Hmm.
expanded on it. And I use Fortnite as an example all the time. Fortnite didn't start off as this big live service game. They started off as something completely different. And then based on what the gamers wanted, they just kept growing it. And I think that's the best way to do live service now is make it another thing that's part of something people already love and grow it as gamers want it to grow. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. No, I like I said, I agree. Like a lot of the good multiplayers we had, like, the Halos and you fell in love with Master Chief and
Hmm.
Cortana, and then you obviously played the multiplayer attachment to it. Gears, with Marcus and all that. Then you played the multiplayer attachment, and you loved it because of the background lore of
They
everything that
want
was
it to
going
be a
on. Like
Fortnite.
even Uncharted had a great multiplayer, right?
Yeah.
It like I know a lot of people that played it, surprisingly, because I didn't know if a lot of people
There's
had
a lot of
played
people that
Uncharted,
still
and not.
play it, to be honest.
Yeah, a lot of people that still play it, a
You
game
can
that's
still
not
get
even
into a
really
game like immediately. It's
Of what?
crazy.
Which game?
exactly
Uncharted
Uncharted.
Oh,
multiplayer.
yeah.
Last of Us 2, the
Like,
first one. You
hmm
don't have to wait
it's
in a queue
just
or nothing. You're automatically in. Like it don't take long at all. It takes longer to
that's what
get
I'm
a
saying.
game in Halo Infinite than The Last of Us 1 remastered.
Oh, sorry, I have to go really quick. I'm
All
so
right.
sorry, Will.
Yeah, no, and that is something I've been saying for a very long time. And I honestly think that is the secret sauce, man. I really do. Just like I brought up the fact that PlayStation should focus on making some smaller games in between their big releases. I think that will go a long way because we're gamers, man. Gamers game. And there's so many people out there that only do the main missions of a game. They don't do everything like how most of us do, right? Because they don't have the time, right? And I think that's another reason why Requiem was so adored by so many people is because they can just knock
I
out a
can you can
game
finish in
in
a month.
12 hours, knock it out in a week. If you're a parent, you can start
Translation
Friday
text
night,
fielder
you can be done
inside.
by Sunday night,
What RPG
or maybe
character
even by the
would you
following
like to
weekend.
think of?
But let me catch up with the chat here because I think a few guys said some interesting stuff. Um, we got Queen Miku. Yep, I'm just waiting for a friend. Oh, okay. Yeah, I appreciate you, Queen Miku. Uh, Hero says,
Translation
just a thought. If
instructor.
Apple can sell the MacBook Neo at 599, then PlayStation will definitely make the PS6 less than 700. Um, I'll ask the chat in a little bit what they think about that, Hero. But to be real with you, man, I just care about the games. I don't give a fuck about the console. I don't care about the PS6 or PS7 or the next Xbox. I just it's like, what I mean. I just want the games, bro. But that is a good question because you're right. If Apple can do the MacBook Neo at 600, right? And we know PlayStation has been going kind of that route, that vibe, where they're kind of like a premier kind of gaming console, right? I think that you have some there, but we'll ask the chat in a bit. Hero says he agrees with me. COD does it. Yep, saw that. What up, Brian? How you doing, my guy? PS6 is going to be more powerful than Xbox Helix. I
You
think
want
that too,
play the
but we'll
box
talk
to play
about
the
that when
game?
we like absolutely RPG. We don't play the box, we play the games, but we're gonna talk about that when we talk about Helix in a little bit. Space Marine is another one, good one RPG, and we played the fuck out of that. And even I jumped into the live service in that one, even though I don't really like those type of games, but because I love the game, I hopped into that. Consolidation is stupid. We don't play it. Yep, absolutely. Morgan, you're back with us. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm so sorry about that.
No, you're good, man. We all know you got stuff going on.
Yeah, we need to get home.
Yeah, dude. If you need me, I'll take a flight right
That's
now. We
more
be over
important.
Oh, I
there.
appreciate
All
it. Yeah.
right.
They said they'll be here in about 15 minutes, so
All right,
yeah.
fire. What were you saying earlier about? I forgot something about.
No, you're good. Yeah, I was just saying, yeah, I fully agree that the attachment, like for me at least, I love a good campaign attached to a live service. Like the reason I loved Call of Duty back in the day,
Retro
I'm
hit
not
it
really a
perfect
fan
yesterday.
anymore, and
Power
I
push
mean
is
you
a
can see
FN
some
joke.
obvious
Nobody
reasons
is.
why. Yeah, it's just kind of fallen off for me. But I
Mm-hmm.
used to love COD. It was because I would play the hell out that campaign, and then I get on the the multiplayer with my friends. I loved a good team deathmatch. Like
Yeah.
Survival or zombies
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah, or zombies or whatever.
I,
Like
I
it
bought
was just
Black Ops
fun.
2 just for zombies. Cause
Yeah,
I didn't give a fuck about
like
playing the multiplayer no more. I played it a lot already. Good.
exactly the campaign to me was just fantastic. The amount of work they used to at least put into those campaigns was just great. It would just get me so excited, and then I'd be like, okay, I'm ready to use those same weapons that I used in the campaign in the multiplayer, right? And
Xbox
then
had the power
like
over the
The Last of
PS5
Us,
and they
I
shit the
absolutely loved
fucking bed.
factions. Like, obviously, no one really
Write it
bought The
will.
Last
You
of Us
also
for the
get a foot of
multiplayer. We
snow
all
down
obviously
where
bought it
you're
for the
at.
story, the campaign, Ellie and Joel's story, but it was just so surprising how good factions was.
You know what
it
else
wasn't anything I was
add-on was actually
expecting.
good that nobody talks about it anymore, but it was big for a while? Mass Effect 3.
See, I never played Mass Effect 3's multiplayer.
People like that. People played that for years.
Yeah, but I agree. I think if Concord had a campaign, I think maybe it would have lasted a little bit longer. At least maybe people would have gotten attached, because once you get attached to the characters and their story, you're more willing to want to play with them some more,
If
right?
Mass Effect,
You know their background now, and you're like, okay, I like this character, I like their story, so I'm gonna play this guy because I can kind of relate, or I like the way they described him, right? And it's like you would think they would too, because the way that they had Concord in that Prime on Amazon Prime, the show.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that actually was actually really good. The episode that they had for Concord, I was like,
Yep.
okay, that's actually the
That's what
story
got me
behind
to
it
play
was
the game.
really good. And I was like, why didn't you just do something like that for like a single player campaign? Like, get people used to the characters, give them good background stories, and why they are the way they are, why they became mercenaries or whatever. And then here you go. Once you've you've learned the character's backgrounds. Now you're more likely to be like, okay, I like this character, so I'm gonna
Yep.
play as this person. I
Yep.
don't know why Sony didn't think about that. I mean, they are a narrative,
Yep.
publisher, so why wouldn't you add a narrative to this? I don't
Yeah.
know.
And that's the thing that really irks my brain with PlayStation. When they went on this live service kick, I was frustrated, but not because I didn't want the live service games per se. It's because I knew what that entailed. And what that entailed was we're going to ignore what we do best and we're going to try to trend chase like the rest. Now, I will say that because it is a PlayStation first party studios working on these, there's going to be a certain level of quality that you're not going to find commonly in the video game industry. And that's a big, big deal for me and for a lot of people. But if they just evolved a little bit of what they're the best at, I think that it would really open up not just the games, but bring people like me over who, like Hero calls me, a gaming glutton, right? Because I beat so many games. And what is the best way to attract gamers like us is give us the stuff that we already like and infuse it with something else. There's so many people
That's
out
how they
there.
get me to the movies.
Yeah, exactly. That's how many people who don't drink tequila shots, but they'll have a tequila sunrise all damn day. You know what I mean? Same thing. We may not do the straight shot of live service, but if you mix it in with some single player stuff in
I
there,
don't go to the movies a lot, but if you throw Mario or Mortal Kombat, I'm gonna go see Street Fighter too. I'll go see it.
so let's talk a little bit about Marathon because being in this live service thing. Oh, hey guys, real quick, hit that like button, help a gamer out. Let's hit that like. Hopefully YouTube says, "Oh man, these fucking dumbasses are talking. Let's get some more people in there." I would appreciate it. Thank you. And by the way, I'm calling me and Nelson dumbasses, not Morgan. Morgan is Princess Morgan, so we don't want to get flogged.
Aw.
But so Marathon, right? Now, I want to use my experience as Marathon because I really do believe that my experience, not my personal experience, but I mean like Will, the single player gamer who talks shit about life service. Why is he so hooked on Marathon, right? And I think that that is a little bit unique. And I just want to talk a little bit about that. And I really want to get Morgan's opinion and Nelson's opinion on this. So I was part of Marathon all the way from the beginning when they did the first beta about a year and a half ago, right? When so many people talk shit about it, right? And I was lucky enough to get into the second one that they did like 6 months later, and then I played the Server Slam. Now, I'm not over here saying like, oh, it's like early access and I feel like I helped build the game. No, I don't really give a fuck about that. I have no attachment to these people. These people don't know me. They don't pay my bills. They don't handle none of my fucking problems. Just give me a good fucking game and then I'll play, right? But what I do like about Marathon is that they pulled out an IP that was known. Not really known, but there's some information out there, right? Marathon is the first IP from Bungie that really got them going. And so there was some lore out there that I couldn't inspect myself. So when I'm playing in the very first beta, I'm thinking, why is the world like this? Where are all the people? And guess what? There's answers for that shit out there. And you guys, as I said, I'm a single player gamer. One of the things I love are stories. There's already a story building up inside of me, right? The next thing, as I'm doing these contracts, they're called contracts in the game, I'm getting even more story. And in case you guys didn't know, the game has like 20 of the best voice actors in the industry. Jennifer English is in there. Ben fucking, what's his name from Expedition 33 is in there as well. And they have a fully loaded cast. And I always thought, why would they do that as a live service game? Well, that's because they have these people voicing characters. And as you're playing the game, yes, the 20 minutes you're in the map, it's all live service shit. But there's little seeds in there that get planted into your brain while you're playing that are giving you some story. And as you start to unlock things, you can go and listen to voice recordings. You can go listen to diaries of why somebody went to this planet or the decisions that they made. So there is a story there, right? And it's not a story that's difficult to find. No, you find it as you're playing, right? Which is better than a Souls game because Souls, you have to read everything. You got to find it. You got to really be invested. Nope, the game gives it to you. Now, you can accept it or you can just dismiss it. Or, oh man, they gave me this. I want to find more. And you can do that. right? So it gives you the option. And that is a big reason of why Marathon has hooked me outside of the gameplay. Now, talking about the gameplay real quick before I pass it on to Morgan to get her opinion is the gameplay is addicting. I've never said this before about any other game in my life, and I don't want this to be the norm because it's not the fucking norm. And all you guys have been gaming for decades now.
I hate
No, this
games.
isn't the norm, but the more you play, literally, the more you're gonna like the game. And remember, this is not something I say about any fucking game. You guys know me, dude. If the game doesn't catch my attention, I'm fucking out. With Marathon, what caught my
YouTube
attention
audio
was the
logs and
art
interesting
style, the
narrations.
gunplay, and then the story bits. But the more I played it, the more I understood the world, the more I understood why the guns looked like this, why the characters looked like that, the more I started to enjoy it and the better I got at the game. And the other thing, too, it's a high risk, high reward kind of game. You can go in there and become a millionaire overnight, or you can go in there as a millionaire and become poor overnight in just one match. And that high stakes is what's the cherry on top for me in that game. Aside from all the things that I enjoy, that is the cherry on the top. That, oh shit, we're going in here with $10,000 worth of equipment. We go in there, we lose, we come back negative $10,000, right? Or you go in there with a free kit worth 200 credits. You go in there, now you're leaving with $7,000 worth of shit, right? So that's a high risk, high reward kind of deal. But now that I explained all that to you guys, I know I've been yapping. Let's pass it on to Morgan because her yaps are way better than mine. Morgan, what do you think about Marathon and it being a live service game? And in specific, the people that have been following the numbers, right? The people that have been, oh, Marathon's at 60K today. Oh, look, they're failing. They're at 20K today. Oh, they're back to 55K. Nope, they're failing. They're down to 30K. What do you think
Oh,
about
did you
people
see
that,
that? I put that in there. That shit was
yes,
funny. Yeah,
what do you
that was
think
funny.
about people that, number one, I didn't like High Guard, but I also wasn't every day talking about how I hope for it to fail. I just didn't play it, right? I did make a couple of videos on High Guard, but it was more newsworthy stuff, right? Like when the one of the developers wrote a letter, I made a video about that. I made another video about what I thought about High Guard, and that's it, right? But what do you think about people that do that all the time, and not just with live service games, but with a lot of things in the video game industry? Where do you sit in this? Do you think that they have a right to do that? That they should be doing this, or do you think they're like, okay, my boy, you're beating a dead horse, like move on? Like, what's your opinion with people like that?
Yeah, like I always get so, I don't want to say upset, but just aggravated at people who do this, because people who, do this consistently, as in like they watch the view count or they watch the sales numbers, they only ever do it with the games that don't fit their narrative, or the games
Mm,
that are on the platform they don't like, right?
mm-hmm.
Or they're made by a publisher that they don't like, right? Because any other time they're like, why are you using the Steam numbers, because concurrent numbers, because those aren't actually the people who bought it, those are just the people who are on at the moment, right? Because all of a sudden then they have a brain to understand what concurrent numbers mean.
Yeah.
But any other time they use concurrent numbers as a metric for how
Yeah, concurrent
successful the
numbers
game
mean a
is.
lot more too in a free to play because if nobody's playing, nobody's spending money. But on a purchase game, it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And what really matters is the longevity of a game, right? Like, as long as it has a stable number of dedicated players, that's really all that a live service needs to be healthy, right? They just need that stable number of good fans, right? And of course that number varies between games, right? Maybe some games can survive with having like, 15,000
It
players
depends
every
on the
day or
spend
something.
too, because 100,000 people could be a lot more
It's
than a
just
million
whatever
people.
that game, the
It's not
size or the
hated
budget, whatever,
speculation.
every game's going to be different, right? And so far, it seems like Marathon's been having a good, steady number of players, right? I've been hearing a lot of great things about it. Like you said, Will, like I've been like, at first, people were like, oh, mixed reviews, whatever. Like, I'm not feeling it. It's too hard, blah, 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 blah. But the more that the time goes on, I see a lot more people that are vibing with Marathon, which is, I
Mm-hmm.
think, is good, because I don't want Sony to have another live
Yeah.
service fail, right? Because I, even though I don't particularly care for Marathon, a fail at Bungie is just going to be more money wasted
Yep.
at PlayStation, and that's not what I want, right? Because I
Yep.
want more money flowing in, because more money for the games that I like, right?
Yep.
So that's
I
good for
don't
me.
want it to
But
fail, I
like,
just see a
for
downward
your
ramp.
question about what you said, like I hate people who consistently watch, because it's all, like I said, it's very hypocritical. They switch whenever it's a game that they do like, and if a game that they like is not getting, the numbers, or the concurrent Steam numbers or the sales or whatever, they have nothing to say, right? They're
Mm-hmm.
quiet. That we don't hear nothing from them. If the game is fitting their agenda, or whatever that agenda may be, they say nothing. But then when it's a game that they hate, or it's considered woke or whatever, then that's when they start watching. But yeah, with High Guard, it was like, it was honestly like, it just got amplified to like 10 times, right? Because Jeff Keighley just had the audacity to like a game, right? To like a game that was free to play, right? That apparently, that was an insult to gamers worldwide, right? Um, and then, my whole thing was, again, High Guard was free to play. You didn't have to. There was
But
no
Defense Force
money
gonna
invested in
Defense
the game,
Force.
right? You maybe tried it out for like an hour or two, and if you liked it, you kept playing, and if you didn't, you dropped it. I don't understand why people got so upset about like High Guard and just rooted for it to fail so
Yep.
hard. They're like, man, fuck this game. Get this game out of here. I hate it. I hate it. I'm like, it's not even like it's from a publisher or something that, they made a game that you previously liked before. And so now they're quote unquote wasting their time with this game that you didn't want and you didn't
Yep.
ask for. It's a new studio made from prominent developers that are making a new IP.
Yep.
Like, I don't understand why all this heated angst came from gamers. Like,
Yeah.
if you didn't like it, you just didn't have to play it, and that's what I did. Live service games really aren't my thing, so I was just like, okay, cool. Moving on. I will play games that I like. I don't
Mm-hmm.
sit there and just hate, just for no reason,
Yep.
when there's something that I don't want to play. That's a waste of my time and energy. There's too many great games out right now, like, to be wasting time hating on one game that I'm never gonna touch.
Yeah.
That's shit. I can't relate to that.
It'd be different if there was only 10 games out, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
you're like, oh shit, all these resources went to one out of the 10, but it's
exactly.
not. And, I honestly think that the thing people hate about High Guard
Especially Bungie.
is,
That's what Bungie does. That's what Bungie's always done. That's all they're ever gonna do.
so I'm actually going to answer RPG on this one real quick because he says he sees a downward trend where I actually see the opposite. So I talked about this on the podcast last
Helix will
week, I think it was. What up, Innate?
with tears of joy.
But the reason I don't think marathon is gonna fail like in a month or 2 months, right? It may fail longer, but just in the near present here, the reason I don't think it'll fail is for a couple different reasons. One, the people that don't like this game already got weeded out, and they got weeded out in the first beta, the second beta, and the server slam. So they had three opportunities to play this damn game. This isn't a situation where the game came out today and it's for the first time that people get to play it. Nah, I think
Mhm.
that those people already figured it out. The other thing too is the people that want to play marathon really want to play marathon, and the numbers show that. The numbers shows that marathon has stayed consistent. I mean, extremely consistent for the first week. Not just consistent, but there's been bumps higher than the previous bump. Sure, it may not be a lot, but I think that this is a game that is going to continue to grow as the year go on. I think that the more so one of the big clues that I can see that a game is going to be extremely successful,
Infinite food
we
portal.
saw it with Resident Evil Requiem, and that was we had women gamers, men gamers, children, old people, young people talking about it, making memes about it, making YouTube shorts, making Instagram reels. I have an Instagram,
Yeah,
y'all.
You know what Marcus was playing earlier today? Resident Evil 2, not remake.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 2, like old as fuck Resident Evil 2.
I have an Instagram, guys, and I think I follow maybe 3 gaming related things on that thing. Instagram is a very private thing for me, where family and stuff like that, and I haven't posted in years. Everything else, social media wise, all I got is YouTube, and X is literally gaming. And I'm seeing shit in there about Resident Evil. Every 5 fucking reel is something
It's
about
all over
Resident Evil.
Facebook and YouTube
Women
Shorts and
Women are gooning over Leon. Dudes are talking about how badass Leon is. People bringing up the old Resident Evil. Like it's culturally impactful, right? You know what else has been culturally impactful? Not to the same extent, of course. Marathon. Marathon has been culturally impactful. Just today, I saw about 5 reels about Marathon, and they were all about Rook. By the way, Rook is a character that you can play if you're a single player where you just want to go in there and loot shit and escape so you can build your shit up, right? And people were saying shit like, bro, why you robbing motherfuckers when you already rich, right? Saying funny shit like that. And that is the start of something culturally where we don't see that happen to every game. Another thing, too, people forget Destiny also had an extremely slow start. The first year of Destiny was pretty damn slow in comparison to what it ended up becoming. So
it
this
made
isn't
350 million its first 3 days, and the second one made more. I don't know. It's like 10 million in 1 month.
yeah, and how many millions do you think they invested to create that motherfucker? And the dips were just the
Less
same.
than Marathon, probably.
Well, we don't know that, right? And actually we've heard the opposite. We heard that for Marathon it was way less than Destiny when it first started. But besides the point, so we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm not like holding my breath on Marathon. Like I'm enjoying it while I have it. I'm already at 40 hours. I don't see myself playing. Like at Helldivers, I dropped it at around 150 hours. I got the platinum. I dropped it right around that time, and I play every once in a while whenever friends or whatever. But that's it. When it came out, I was playing it daily, and then it went to a couple times a week, and then once a
I
week,
never
and
played
then
it anymore either.
don't play it anymore. Marathon, I've been playing that motherfucker
That's a
till
lie. I'm playing it right now.
Crimson Desert comes out. That is what I've been playing because I don't want to start something when Crimson Desert's around the corner, and that comes out this Friday. If Crimson Desert doesn't hit how I think it will, then I'll figure something else to play, right? But I really wanted to bring up Marathon and specific the live service push because Morgan was right in the beginning where she's talking about Legends, and there is a ton of value that Sucker Punch is giving you there for free. And a lot of studios, a lot of publishers can really take some note in how it's done. Do you think players are going to appreciate that? Or, it's like the whole what is the game called? No Man's Sky. How people are now begging them to like, dude, take my freaking money. Take my freaking money. Like you've been giving us so much free shit for how many years now? And that's where you want your customer base to be, where they're begging you to give you money, not over here thinking, should I buy this game or not? Should I buy this $5 thing or not? You don't want them in that position. But let's continue on because I know we don't have Morgan for much longer. Hopefully she comes back, but just in case she doesn't, let's talk a little bit about some of those posts that I was telling you guys about earlier. And the very first one I want to bring up is because I'm about to crash the fuck out. But before I do, I want to ask you guys about this. And I saw a post on X today. And the post is from a gentleman called Oliver de Revere. Oliver de Revere is a composer. He has worked on games such as Dying Light 2, Dying Light 2, Dying Light the Beast, Vampire. He's also worked on South of Midnight. He's worked on Park Beyond, which is probably a game that a lot of people know. Greedfall 2, Plague Tale Requiem, Streets of Rage 4, Vampire Swan Song. Just to name a few of his biggest hits. He's also done some animation work. Visions over on Disney, right? He worked on that. So he's a composer. So he makes the music. Oh, Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry. So that's what he does, right? And he's sharing a post that somebody else wrote. And let me share that post right away. And that post is written by some dude named River. All right, Morgan will be back. River Row. And River Row says, Oliver de Revere is such an interesting guy. He makes some great pieces of music. But he seems to be stuck in a maze of getting only offers from niche or mediocre games apart from Plague Tale, which from what I've seen is actually well made all around. Oliver retweets that and says, for years, players have pointed out the lack of quote unquote hit games in my portfolio. Just know this, no one can predict whether a game will be a hit. I'm proud of every game I've worked on. I spent a long career making the best music I can with world class musicians, right? That's what he said. That is what he said. Now, what I responded to this, of course, because I just thought this was an absurd comment to make, and I really would like to hear chat your what you guys think. But what I wrote is, and this is my politically correct kind of comment because I didn't want to go too crazy on this. I don't know none of these people, but I wrote consistency like Oliver's is honestly way more impressive than chasing one massive hit or one hit wonder. The guy contributed to just one IP that sold around 45 million copies. That is Dying Light across decades of work. That's absurd levels of success. Most gamers might not know every title out there, but ask around and the majority will instantly recognize the games he's touched. That's the kind of quiet dominance that puts flashier stuff to shame. Respect where it's due. I got so pissed off because people were saying that he doesn't have a fucking hit, right? It's like, my boy, do you rather get a one hit fucking wonder or somebody who's consistently doing great work? But Nelson, what do you think about that? Do you think that Oliver is not a certified hitter because he doesn't have that one big, huge hit that sells 50 million copies? Or do you think that him working on the games that he worked on is good enough? What do you think about that?
I'd rather have a bunch of mildly successful games than have a one-hit wonder. Because you know
Absolutely.
what happens to those? Like
June
I'm trying to think of like a good
2016
band,
comes to
like
mind with
Styx or
me.
something like that. They never had like a number one hit, but they had
Yeah.
a 40-year career. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be that than Vanilla Ice. I mean, I love me some Ice Ice Baby, but you know what I mean? Where his career at now? You know what I mean? Who's going to see him on tour?
Yeah. And the other crazy thing too is, and this is why I always kind of defend Nintendo. Um, I just don't like how strong Nintendo is, right? How heavy-handed they are. But I always defend them when they go after somebody for stealing, pirating games or something like that, right? Because it's a lot of fucking work to come up with something and let alone let it be fucking successful, right? Let it alone it reach the level of success that Nintendo has done throughout the decades. But just creating
That
something, right?
depending on what hands it's in, it could blemish your the what you've built of it. Like look at what things that Disney buys.
Yeah, absolutely. So I always defend Nintendo when it comes to that. I just think that they're heavy-handed for some things, right? Like making YouTubers close down their channel because they're sharing gameplay or because they are the music from the ODS OST from a game that nobody can get anywhere. They meticulously recorded the shit from the video game and put it up on their YouTube channel for free, right? Not monetized, just out there so people can enjoy it. Nintendo wants to fucking sue them for $500 million, right? That's the shit I don't like. How heavy-handed they are. Like, my boy, you could have just asked them to close the channel down, maybe a couple $1,000 fine. Mind you, they're not making any money, right? But something like that. But I agree, Nintendo should go after these people. But you're telling me that Dying Light 2, Dying Like the Beast, South of Midnight, Greedfall, Greedfall 2, Plague's Tale Requiem,
Streets of Rage,
Streets
baby.
of Rage, the music in that. You're here to tell me that this dude isn't fucking successful? Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry. What the fuck are you talking about? And that just irked my nerves so fucking much, man, because going back to the whole marathon conversation and people fucking reporting on every dip, right, of the numbers and people just being so fucking negative all the fucking time about something that they don't even
User
fucking
joined your
play
channel, but
is
no
just
super
so
chat time.
fucking annoying to me, right? You have people that are out here putting their blood, sweat, and tears to give us the best of what they can produce, right? And look, if you don't like it, that's okay. If you want to criticize it, that's okay too. But to make it a full-time job for something that has no effect to you whatsoever is psychotic, extremely psychotic. Um, Nelson, am I off by saying that, or is there some truth in what I said? That it's psychotic for people to make this a full time job of just tearing something down
No,
for
there's
no
just people
reason.
that don't. There's people. There's things people like and don't like, but some
Nintendo
people just
Free
go looking for
Pass.
the shit,
Yeah,
like a hobby. I don't know.
yeah. Look, man, I get it. You don't like something, let everybody know. Hey, I played this game. It's
I don't like it.
ass. It's trash. You see a couple memes, share them bitches. I want to laugh too. You found something funny that talks shit? Hell yeah, I want to see that motherfucker. But then after the 20th time, I'm just like, okay, my boy, you're beating a fucking dead horse here. Like, move on. Go find another game to talk shit about. Like, this is already fucking dead, cooked, well done, fucking eaten. Fucking your body decomposed it. You shit it out. A flower grew. Fucking the bee got the honey from the flower. The bee died in the ozone because of fucking pollution. Move the fuck on. But the bullshit doesn't stop there. That's just Oliver's example. We have another one for you guys here. This one's going to be a little bit more interesting. We have a tweet by a dude called the Gaming Prophet. And he says, Bungie owned by Xbox versus Bungie owned by PlayStation.
Oh, I know
The
who that is.
PlayStation stench is real. And he has Master Chief, Xbox owned by Bungie.
Don't get
And then he has Destiny and Marathon owned by PlayStation. And basically, he's saying here how Bungie's a piece of shit when PlayStation owns them. And they're awesome when Xbox owns them. And that has something to do with it. Nelson, what do you have to say about that?
They wanted to get away from Xbox for a reason.
Yes. Also,
Ed Freeze lost his job because the Xbox was trying to shove Halo out when it was only
yep,
quarter of the way cooked.
yep. And also, Marathon didn't or not Marathon, but didn't Destiny 1 sell more copies than fucking all the
Yeah.
Halos combined?
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about Bungie has had more successful games outside or more success outside of Xbox with one game than all of Halo combined. And Nelson, real quick, how much money do you remember back then when the Master Chief came out or Halo 1, 2, and 3 came out? Remember you used to go to the gas station, all Doritos were Master Chief, all the Mountain Dews were Master Chief, all the fuck everything was Master Chief at a gas station.
Yeah, now nothing's Master Chief.
Now it's
Nobody gives a
nothing.
shit anymore.
But the point is, how much money do you think Xbox spent marketing that fucking game during the life of that thing? 1 billion,
lot.
2 billion, 3 billions, 10 billion? We don't have that answer, but I'm just reminding you guys that the amount of money, the amount of push for
They kind
Halo,
of had to because they really had nothing. I mean, Xbox lived and died off of Halo for
yes,
a long, long time.
it's just ridiculous. So that was another silly example that I found online. And look, the chat let him know right away, right? The
Hey,
first one,
you got the clips I had of when what Seamus said when they first got Bungie too. God,
Yep.
they fucking hated Microsoft.
yeah, oh, they hated it big time. I mean, it was in Microsoft, typical Microsoft, right? They wanted Bungie to
They
do
lied to 'em.
yeah, besides that, right? They the bold faced lies, not just with that, but also with bonus money and how much they were paying out. Like they lied about everything.
Yeah, they said they want their game would be on what was it, Apple products day one.
Yep.
As soon as they signed the contract, they're like, yeah, you're going on Xbox, this new console that nobody's gonna buy, so
Mm-hmm.
you'll be able to sell your game to nobody.
But not just that, Microsoft came in and they tried to change the culture of Bungie. And the culture is what made Halo successful, right? Just some frat boys here in Wisconsin fucking making a Halo game, right? Or I'm sorry, Chicago. In Chicago, making a fucking Halo game, making a fucking badass shooter that they wanted to play themselves. That's what made Halo successful. It wasn't fucking Microsoft corporate fucking fingers managing every little bit to make it successful. No, it was some fucking dudes who was like, fuck it. We want to make some fucking badass game where we can fuck shit up. Let's kill some aliens and do that. And they were successful at it. But the chat, of course, in this post didn't disappoint, right? And B Ray Forever says, Yeah, because Halo has been doing so well without Bungie, right? That's the number one thing he said.
Right?
And then he says, let's not forget that failed former Xbox head Phil Spencer passed on Destiny being an Xbox exclusive. That could have turned Xbox around as Destiny went on to be a massive
That would have been
success.
fucking huge. I would have bought an Xbox day one because I played the shit out of Destiny.
When you consider how poorly Microsoft has handled most of their other acquisitions as of late, Bungie is in much better hands. Not just Destiny, Spider-Man,
They
Genshin
passed on that
Impact,
too.
passed on Genshin Impact. I
Grand
mean,
Theft Auto.
Microsoft has passed on things that have changed the video game industry.
Oh, you know what else they did? And they passed on Rock Band. That was the first ever
Oh,
game to
yep,
make $1 billion.
yep.
Or not Rock Band, Guitar Hero. One of
Or
the
Guitar
two.
Hero, yeah, one of those two. So Microsoft has done nothing but make terrible fucking decisions. There's a reason. There's a reason. We just talked about. Yo, what up, conservative juggalo? Just like yeah, I know it won't play without internet. That's why I never bought the physical copy. I made a video about that, bro. Same thing with Doom, man. Doom was a disappointment, but not the game itself. The game was decent. It's just it wasn't a physical. But not just we talked a little bit about IP, right? Creating something that's successful, and um Oliver with his music, right? And how Nintendo should defend their shit because of how hard it is to create something that is not just good but popular. I just don't agree with Nintendo's heavy-handed. Bungie, they created Master Chief, they created a Halo IP, but they wanted out so bad from Xbox that they said, we'll give it to you. That's how bad. They said our biggest thing we've ever done in our careers, we're going to give it to you as long as we can leave. Like, let that sink in, guys. How bad things have to be for you to say, guys, this is our bread and butter. We could leave here and everything can fail. We cannot rely on Halo anymore. Nah, we rather be out and fail and suck than stay with Microsoft and keep Halo. Like I couldn't even fathom that. It's like giving up your kids or something. Like that's just I don't know. That is crazy to me. And of course, we got more. I'm just gonna read a couple more and then we'll move on to the next one. Um,
Check.
the next one is
Shit.
what happened? The audio issues.
Oh yeah, you went fucking like Satya got you.
Maybe he did, bro. We are using
It sounded like the Matrix when you're entering, and they're like, fucking.
Then we have here Halo under Microsoft. We have Halo Infinite. We have Halo 5. We have Halo 4. And
Worse upon worse.
Yep. And then Destiny and Destiny 2 are under, well, not PlayStation, but Activision. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting. I don't know where this guy got this idea to post that shit, but that just goes to show you how it doesn't matter if something's good or bad. People will defend their team for whatever reason, man. I'm on the game side, right? If Xbox tomorrow can release some fucking fire ass games, then I would buy them and play them. That's it, plain and simple. I have a Series X. I just haven't turned that bitch on except to do a Will It Play with No Internet Stalker 2. And guess what? It didn't play with no internet. You know why? Because fucking Xbox physical disc Blu-rays only hold 50 gigs. That's it. 50 gigs. PlayStation disc hold 100. Right? So it's ridiculous. Let's move on to the next one that I have here. This was going to be a fun one to discuss. Well, there's a couple that are going to be fun to discuss. But this one is from a friend of the channel, Doom. Shout out to you, Doomsayer. He is responding to a comment from somebody, from CJ Bloodwind, who says, the latest cope from a PlayStation fanboy is that you can't count Project Helix being able to play the thousands of PC games because they are PC games and not Xbox games. Doom, this is what I really want to talk about, says, fun fact, Steam has 146,000 games as of today. Epic has over 4,000 games. Of the games on Epic, roughly 85% of those games are on Steam. Then, at the Xbox games and PS games. So instead of a box having 3 storefronts, why not just get a Steam box with one of those with one storefront and you still have all those games? Oh, and Steam also has VR games. Haven't heard anything about VR on Helix. Nelson, what do you think about that? We're going to have to
Well,
get into
Helix
Helix
is
now.
just a PC. That's the thing is I don't understand all this argument anyways. It's just a PC. You're not going to use Windows anyways. Nobody gives a shit about your buy in one place because most of the games people want to play are not play anywhere. They're not. Very few of
So
them are.
how is Xbox going to make so how is
I
X
don't know. They're not.
because Steam's gonna get there and what Steam's gonna fucking give up what
No,
thirty
they ain't gonna
percent
give up shit.
Exactly. So how is Xbox, if they go this PC route, how is Xbox going to be able to get Steam on their quote unquote PC console?
If you have a
How?
Well,
Steam
because
machine,
it's
it's
just a
just for
PC. It's
Steam
open. You
frame.
just
It's
download whatever
weaker than a
store you want.
PS5. No need for
Okay,
I don't
so
know. This shit don't make no sense.
well, that's the discussion we're having. Chat.
Because let me tell you, if you got a PC, your number one choice would be GOG, or I mean Steam, then probably Epic, and then GOG, and then like somewhere down the list, I don't know how many other stores there are, is Microsoft Store. You know what I mean? Like way down the list.
All right, so if Xbox comes out with a console that's really a PC, are they only going to sell games that you can only play on that console PC?
Maybe they can block out Steam.
That's what I'm thinking here. I think that's the only way that would make sense, right? Where you still can only play Xbox games. It's just their PC games that Xbox
It
ported.
would only be the Play Anywhere games. I'm pretty sure. The rest of your library is fucked, which is all the good ones.
So the numbers roughly, right? Because we don't know because Xbox doesn't report them. But the numbers are anywhere between 30 to 40 million Series X and S sold this generation, right? Where PlayStation is about to hit 100 million probably by the year's end of sold, actually sold. And shout out to Conservative Gigolo, where me and him kind of did the math a few weeks ago while playing Resident Evil Village, where at the time PlayStation had reported that 92 or so million consoles were out in the world. And then we kind of did the math on how many are actually sold versus how much inventory is out there. And we concluded, and shout out to him because I thought it was way lower, but he concluded that roughly anywhere between 15 to 25 million PlayStation 5s are out on store shelves right now. Right. So PlayStation really hasn't sold 92 million consoles. It's just that's how many they've put out there. And it makes sense. I mean, if you think about there's 2 to 3, maybe 4 PlayStations per Walmart, per Target, right? There's thousands of these locations. Yeah. Oh, you think it's 10
I don't.
million? So about 10
I
million
think it's pretty
unsold.
closer to 3 million on shelves.
Well, that's what I thought. But once you start doing the math, yeah, it's way more than that. Walmart alone, I forget the number.
Couple million.
Yeah, I would say 10 to 15 million unsold consoles are out there worldwide. Because just in America alone, I mean, it was like 5 million just in Walmarts and Targets and Best Buys, not even including like GameStops, mom and pop shops. I mean, GameStop alone has like 500 or no, I'm sorry, like 800 locations. So even if they only carry 2, that's fucking 1,600 consoles right there, right? Walmart, obviously, way more stores. Target, way more stores worldwide. Amazon, oh yeah, it's absolutely a lot of consoles out there. But Xbox, they stopped producing them, right? So they're no longer really like in stores. You can still find them here and there, but they're not being produced like how they used to be.
That's
So let's
because the
just
fucking
say,
old ones have been on shelves forever. Jesus Christ.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, at $700, yeah, nobody's buying that when they can just buy a PS5 Pro. But think about how many gamers, right, that are console gamers are going to be making the transition to this Helix console. Once they hear PC or any type of format of PC, Nelson, how many do you think? How many do you think they'll sell?
3 to 5.
How much?
Between 3 and 5
No,
million.
how much money do you think the console will cost?
Oh, 2,000.
I think that's a little too high. I think it'll be anywhere
I think it's a
between
little low, to
800
be
to
honest.
1200.
Well,
Yeah, I think.
then it ain't gonna be nothing like they're saying. That thing's gonna be at POS.
BTW.
You can't even
It's
get a
me,
decent card for
Alien
fucking
myself.
$1,000. You think they're gonna get a subsidized card?
Hold up, and then you're saying that 92 million sold, not shipped? Is that what you're saying, Innate? Because then that means that there would be about 105, 110 million
That sounds
consoles.
accurate. It's 92 million shipped.
So,
How you been?
sorry, I'm catching up with the chat. But yeah, it's gonna be super interesting to see number one the cost, right? Because then we go back to the Steam box. So we saw some information we talked about on the podcast. A store in Europe
They always
had
make the package shipped to please investors.
had a posting on their website that it was going to be right around $800. If the Helix comes out at more than the Steam box, but more powerful, do you think gamers would rather go that way, or do you think they'd rather go with the Steam box? What do you think, Nelson?
I think they just get a PC, to be honest with you, because they're gonna
Yeah.
be overpriced. And for another couple $100, you'd want to get something more capable that you can take apart. And
Yeah,
the
customize
thing
it.
about it is, yeah, this Xbox mode shit and whatever that they're talking about too, it's already gonna be on everything that has Windows. It's just an update. So the box that you buy or whatever has no apparent, like anything exclusive to it. It's just a PC that with a different form factor that you can't fuck with, real. It's just it don't make no sense.
PCs don't really have. I mean, they do have. I don't want to say they don't.
About power of a 5080 and all that shit, and it's gonna be $1,200, bro. A card like that alone is $2,000. You think they're gonna get it for 1,800? They're not buying in bulk either. Nobody want that shit.
Yeah, but
Don't make no sense.
My question is, so PC games, yes, they have a ton of exclusives, but their exclusives are, rub my neighbor's wife's feet, right?
Rub my nipples.
That's their exclusives. Outside from the shit that Steam themselves have,
They got a couple good shoot 'em ups and beat 'em ups that come to PC first and come to or Castlevania type games, but the good ones always come to console. Anyways, you just gotta have a little patience. There's 100 of them that come out a day.
And yeah, it's not even like many of them come out anyway. It's just a handful of them. So in reality, there is no exclusive. So how can Xbox make this PC handheld or this PC console benefit them? That is just my question. Like, I just don't understand the money part of it all, because you're gonna sell this thing for.
I think they're gonna sell services through it, like AI and all that shit like that. That's really all
Another
it is.
thing too is,
Windows has been going down like really bad the last.
Yeah, but another thing too is the pay to play online. How are they gonna do that?
that on an open platform? You can't.
Xbox has
No one's gonna do that.
exclusives,
You know what
just
else
like
is
they
funny?
said.
You're not gonna play Fortnite through there because they're not gonna allow that shit on there because you're gonna have to get it from Epic.
I just don't understand it, man. I don't understand how they're gonna be making money
It's a bastard child device just like the
off of this.
It don't make no sense.
So then why even make it?
I don't know. Sell services.
Starfield.
What services are you gonna buy? Game Pass? The one that's. I just don't understand. Chat. What services
We'll play your
can
games for you.
Xbox
Beat your games for you.
sell on this new console? What services? Because Nelson is saying services. I don't even see services being sold. Only services I can see being sold is Game Pass, and Game Pass is hurting.
Where's the Nate? Ask a Nate.
So I just don't understand. I mean,
And Nate,
peripherals. Peripherals. I mean,
he's the PC guy.
What fucking controllers? Like, I just don't understand. I think they'll be losing out on that if they go to this PC route. It just, to me, it doesn't make any sense. But once again, I'm not in tech. I don't know what the future holds.
Yeah, you know what's funny is when people say, "Oh, they gotta get that Fortnite money." It's like they're not gonna be playing Fortnite on the Xbox. It's not on the Windows Store, my guy.
People are gonna play Fortnite in the cheapest.
That's the only place to get it on the PC.
It's the cheapest way possible.
On PC, there's no way to play it other than Epic. Epic makes you go through them because it's an open platform.
On PC, or people are just trying to play Fortnite the cheapest way they can. Series S, PlayStation 5, Series X, or it was Series X, but those consoles, those where people are going to play Fortnite. They're not going to be playing, they're not going to spend $1,200, $1,000 to play Fortnite. Like, that's just not going to happen. If somebody has a Series S or X right now, Why would they jump over to this Helix console? Like for what? Unless you want to go to PC, and if you do want to go to PC, you just get a PC. Look, I got a 5070 Ti graphics card and a pre-built computer for $1,400 that plays games at anywhere between 80 to 120 frames per second, 4K upscaled. You know what I mean? So like, I just don't see where the money's coming from here. If they weren't seeing it for the Series X and S, how are they going to see it with the PC when there is no storefront that they compete with? There is no, like, what, you're just going to sell controllers? That's how you're going to make your billions of dollars? That's how you're going to make your 70 billion back or 80 billion back from Activision? I just don't understand. Chat, is there something that I'm missing here? What am I missing? Because I just don't understand it. I don't get it.
Well, I don't get it either. So, and Nate, come in and join us.
So we're gonna come back to this.
See a lot more. I'm wondering if he knows something.
We're gonna get back to this conversation once Morgan comes back and get her opinion on this, because I'm really interested in how.
And Nate would know a lot of the fuckery that goes on a PC.
On how. But it's real simple. How many gamers want a PC type console? Because I don't. I already get frustrated when I gotta pick fucking 60 frames per second, fucking quality, pro mode, I need an update for this. I'm waiting for PSSR 2 to drop. Like, I'm already annoyed by that shit, and that's literally 2 or 3 options. Trying to sit there and configure a fucking game every single time is just even more fucking annoying, and there's a reason we're console gamers, so I just don't see it. I don't see them getting a transition of gamers from the Series X and S over to, over to PC. I just don't see it. And yeah, it's just they're not going to. Xbox going back to exclusives is never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Unless they can sell 100 million consoles with the next one, they're never going to go back. They're just not. Even
go backwards. So.
Even if they have multiple successful games, you know how much money and how many games they got to sell after recuperating their costs to just make up the money they spent for ABK? Just to make that up? Not even Call of Duty is bringing in the money it used to. There's just no way. But I am concerned about this all because, competition is extremely important in the video game world. And with Xbox being out for the last 5 years, not competing really, it's unfortunate. It really is. But let's move on. Let's move on to the next thing, and we're still going to talk about Xbox because more shit's coming out from them. And something that they kind of been on the news is this makes a lot of sense when you're talking about a PC type of console, because the backward compatibility is just the PC game or the PC version of that game. So for a gamer who's moving from the Series X and S on over to the Helix, they...
Yeah, but do you know how many games are, what do you want to call it, They talk about all the time, what is it called, fucking play anywhere, yeah, play anywhere. You know how many games are play anywhere? Not very many.
About 80% of the Xbox gamers are digital only.
Digital, yeah. But
so... I don't think the transition will be super hard. I think it'll just be, you got...
No, it won't, but only... unless you just play Xbox exclusives, almost all your games are not play anywhere.
Yeah, I know, but that's the other thing, right? Because if you have Assassin's Creed for the Series X, and now you have this PC fucking console, well, how is Xbox gonna pay Ubisoft to get that license for the PC version of the game?
They probably won't.
They won't. Exactly. So you're gonna have to rebuy that game, or they just say, "Hey, Game Pass." But even with Game Pass, it's like, well, they only have about it's more than that when you include PC Game Pass. So it's like, how many games, how many licenses can they get for these games? And look, I'm bringing this stuff up because I don't want to shit on Xbox. 'Cause I really don't give a fuck about Xbox. It's not a platform that I use. They don't have really any games that I want. The ones that I do want, they're coming over to PlayStation. Starfield should be getting announced this week, hopefully, according to the fucking lame ass leakers. But the reason I'm bringing this conversation up, guys, is if you are an Xbox gamer, right, and it's your main and where you have your games, don't